Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today let's create awesome line art. Hello guys, welcome to my art channel. If you like to learn about art, traditional or digital, if that's something you're interested in, subscribe and hit the notification bell. So, I've been working on digital art for quite some time now, and people who follow me on YouTube and on Instagram often ask me this question: how do I get better at line art? So here are a few of the tricks I follow to get a clean, professional looking line art. So the first tip, come into the mindset of using one fluid stroke. When you begin a line art, make sure any curve or line you see in your drawing, make sure you complete that in a single stroke. By doing this, you often tend to overshoot, and that's completely alright. You can always go back and erase the overshot line, but having the single stroke is of utmost importance when you begin your line art. A lot of work that I see online, I see people doing this. To finish one smooth line, they use multiple strokes to finish it, and it ends up looking shabby and somewhat distracting. And this is known as petting the line. At all cost, avoid doing this in your digital inking or on your paper. As much as possible, minimize the number of strokes you are using and come up with a clean line. Taking the time to finish your line art perfectly is very important. It saves you a bunch of time when you're coloring it. So you might be thinking, how does a clean line art help with coloring? Well, watch till the end of the video to know how. Alright, the next step. Control Z is your best friend. For this, ergonomics is very important. Get yourself in a comfortable chair, and on a working desk, have one hand on your drawing pen or your mouse and the other on Control Z. For example, this line here, I wanted a clean single stroke. For this to get it right, I had to try so many times to get it the way I wanted. How did I get that? Well, you see it now. Keep drawing it as many times as you want. Control Z, draw the line. Control Z, draw the line. Control Z, draw the line until you're happy with it. Like I said, the line art is the first and most important step, so take your time to get it right. The next step, if you're using Photoshop or any other tool, make sure you find this option. In Photoshop, it's the icon over here where it says smoothing. What this does is the more percentage you keep, Photoshop reduces the wobbly line on its own. If you keep it too high, it becomes very difficult to follow a line. For me, 30% has worked out best, so that's what I use. Using this tool, Photoshop automatically gives you a smooth line, and this saves you a bunch of time by using the dreaded Control Z. I'm just kidding, that's my friend. The next tip, zoom in when you have to. I see a lot of time lapses online or videos where they try to finish the line art having the full scope on the full screen. Instead, try zooming in. You'll have a much bigger screen space and much bigger surface area, and you'll get a much cleaner arc for the lines you want. The smaller the object is on your screen, it becomes more difficult for you to follow the lines of your sketch and get it nice and clean with the right thickness of the brushstroke you want. So this is why you need to zoom in and use a smooth long arc which will give you a clean, crisp line. The next tip, use the pen tool. If you're using Photoshop, use the pen tool. When you need to draw straight lines, it's often very difficult for you to get it right. For example, this steel rod in this bike needs to be absolutely straight. If I'm going to do it by hand, I'll be doing this all day. So in cases like this, you can save a lot of time and get a clean output by using the pen tool. All you have to do is select the pen tool, follow the path where you need the line art, right click, click on stroke path, and use the brush setting. If you want to simulate the pressure, Photoshop automatically simulates the pressure sensitivity. Example like this. But for this instance, I don't need this, and there you go. Sometimes this gives you a jagged edges, but you can always go over those and erase those edges or give a clean brush stroke just how you want. The next tip, using Photoshop shapes. For example, in this bike, I need a clean ellipse for these tires. So instead of spending a lot of time trying to come up with the perfect line, I can use this shape tool, remove the fill setting, set the border somewhere around 2 to 4 pixels, and there you go. So these are the main tricks that I use for getting a clean line art. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. In one of my tips, I mentioned having a clean line art will save you a ton of time on coloring. Let me show you how. So if you have a clean line art done, you can just select a base color. For instance, I use this gray, and I just randomly paint over the sketch. So if you have a clean line art, you can use the magic wand tool and do this. You instantly get a clean outline, and you can use a mask layer over it and color over the areas you want. So once you have a clean line art, you need not worry about getting clean edges for your color work, and you can do this all day, and it saves you a ton of time. So now we've finished our line art, we've finished coloring it, and there it is, my finished artwork. I can use this to print this, or I can use this in a comic book, any way I please. I hope you found this video helpful. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of my next video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.